So, as many of you know, Microsoft recently gave Copilot Chat a major redesign, or at least a significant redesign. For me, honestly, when I first opened it, I wasn't overly impressed. I didn't see super significant changes, although there were noticeable changes to the user interface. To me, it looked like Microsoft had simply moved some things around. But after using it for a few days, I realized something, that this isn't really about being an interface update, although it was in some ways an interface update. It's really a workflow update. And if you're a freelancer, that means that this changes how you can manage projects from the moment a client hires you. Now, let me show you what I mean. So I'm Jennifer. I'm from the Freelance Shift. I help aspiring freelancers build profitable businesses using modern strategies, AI, and proven systems that I've used to build my multiple six-figure freelance business. Now, instead of giving you a tour of every button within the new Copilot chat interface today, I instead want to walk you through a realistic freelance scenario that almost all of us experience. And let's just imagine that you've landed a new client. Well, what's the first thing that happens? Well, the first thing is that you're going to learn about the client. So for this scenario, let's just pretend that I've been hired by a fictional company. We're going to call them Green Horizon Consulting. Now, I don't know much about them yet. So instead of immediately jumping into the work, which I sometimes am tempted to do, instead, I'm going to start off by asking Copilot something about the company. I'm going to tell Copilot, I'm beginning a freelance project for Green Horizon Consulting. Help me create a research checklist so I can understand this company before my kickoff meeting. This is something that I can do now that's going to pay off benefits as I continue moving forward with this company. Now, I want you to notice something. I'm using the AI, but I'm not asking Copilot to do my thinking. I'm asking it to help me think more systematically. And that's significant. Now, what I end up with is a checklist of things to research that are a great starting point for me to move forward. Now, from there, I will end up using Copilot again. This time, I'm going to use it to help me better prepare for the kickoff meeting. So ideally, I want to walk into that first meeting looking super prepared and impressive, right? So I will now ask Copilot to generate 15 thoughtful kickoff meeting questions that are going to help me understand the client's goals, challenges, stakeholders, timeline, and definition of success. Now, I don't intend on asking all 15 questions, but I want to have an assortment of questions that I can ask depending on my own comfort level in this exact situation in the meeting. Now, in this example, instead of relying on the same questions I always ask, I'm asking Copilot to give me ideas that I may otherwise have overlooked. I'm basically using Copilot as a thought partner. So obviously, I can take a look at the questions that Copilot provides. I can keep them as is, or I can customize them and make them my own, which of course is something that I always do. Now, the next time that I use Copilot, I use it to help me organize the project. So one thing that I really like about this new Copilot experience is that it encourages longer conversations. And they're true back and forth conversations. So instead of opening a new chat every 5 minutes, I can continue building on the same project. So in this circumstance, I'm going to ask Copilot, based on everything we've discussed so far, help me create a simple project plan with milestones, deliverables, and weekly checkpoints. This is something I feel like Copilot really shines with. And then I'm going to basically do my own research and adjust as necessary. But I'm not done with Copilot yet. This is where I actually probably use AI the most. I'll ask Copilot something like, imagine this project starts falling behind. What are the 5 most common reasons freelance projects go off track? And what can I do now to prevent this from happening later? And this is obviously somewhere where AI becomes less of a search engine and more of a strategic thinking partner. Sometimes the biggest value isn't the answer that you get from Copilot, but the questions that are incorporated in the output that the AI tool reminds you to ask. Now, one more thing that I would use Copilot for are the follow-up notes. So, of course, if you have a premium version of Copilot, you can use Microsoft Teams and you can use all of the wonderful recap features that are available. But if you did or didn't have access to this, you can actually ask Copilot to create a professional follow-up email summarizing the discussion. Of course, you'd need to attach some form of knowledge for Copilot to know what was discussed, whether that be manual notes or whether you used the AI technology to use the notes. But you can ask it to summarize the discussion, the agreed upon steps, and any outstanding questions. And this is a great time saver that you can use. And if you haven't seen Microsoft's recap option with its Teams meeting, definitely something you can check out. Maybe I should put that on the upcoming video list. Let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. So what actually changed with this Copilot reinvention? Did it totally reinvent Copilot? No. But I do think that Microsoft is encouraging something that's actually useful. I think it's starting to treat AI as a place you visit, not just for random questions, but more like a workspace where you can use Copilot like a workplace where you can work on various aspects of the entire project and use it to help you manage the evolution of the project over time. So for freelancers juggling multiple clients, this is a meaningful shift. So in this case, I don't think that the biggest change is the interface itself. I don't think that that UI change is going to be what makes you more productive. Instead, I think it's the workflow that you follow that's going to really show benefits for you. Because the freelancers who are really getting the most out of AI aren't necessarily the ones who are just writing better prompts. Of course, prompting and good prompting does impact your output, but the freelancers getting the most out of AI are those that are building better systems. And that's what you have to start thinking about. The successful freelancers using AI are consistently using it throughout an entire project instead of only when they get stuck. And that's the real opportunity here. So if you're already using Copilot, I'd encourage you to stop thinking about it as a chat bot and start thinking about it more as a project partner, because the more context that you can build with Copilot over time, the more useful it's going to become for you moving forward. So I'd love to know what you think about the new Copilot experience. Thumbs up, thumbs down, somewhere in the middle. Please let me know in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe. It really does help little channels like mine. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye-bye.